Continuing now with President Obama's upcoming visit to Roseburg, Oregon. With us here in New York City, Leslie Marshall and Andrea Tantaros. So, you want President Obama to go to Oregon?
Well, the people of Roseburg don't want him there.
Some.
Many. The publisher of the local paper, a guy named David Jack.
Yeah, we had him on last night.
Yeah, he says he doesn't want the president
He was
there.
the guy that says that the president's stepping on the corpses.
I don't think it's a good idea, and here's why. Because everything the president does is political. It would be one thing, Bill, if he had been consistent, if he called the family of Katie Steinle. I think he already has. He went very quickly to that podium, and his remarks were very pointed. He said thoughts and prayers aren't enough. So when Josh Earnest says today he's going to go give thoughts and prayers, he even said it wasn't enough.
But he knows, Leslie, that any kind of mention of gun control is going to get him, Barack Obama, in enormous trouble. So he's not going to do that.
I agree with you 100%. He is the leader of this nation, and like you have said, and I agree with you many times, that if people don't respect him necessarily, they respect the office. And he's the leader of this nation. This nation mourns with those people, and he is there to mourn with those people.
Very quickly, Bill, what he'll do is right after he will say this. He might not politicize it in this moment, but after he will say, I met with those families. I saw their faces. He will politicize it
later down the road.
Hours and minutes after.
But it's even worse than that, Andrea. It's even worse than that, because there's a stealth aspect to this, as I pointed out to our guest from Roseburg. In conjunction with his visit to Oregon, his pal Harry Reid is writing up an onerous, to people who believe in the Second Amendment, gun control law. It's a parallel track, all right? So that the people in Douglas County are going, you know what, he may not say anything when he's here, and he may bring comfort to some of the families, but his agenda is to keep the spotlight on the issue so he can pass this anti-Second Amendment bill.
No question that that's his focus politically, but I really don't believe, Bill, that is his true and genuine intention going there. He is a father. He is a human being.
Come on, Leslie.
Everybody sheds a tear whenever we have this happen in our country.
Everything he does is
but he has passionate, like many of us, myself included, for gun control measures in conjunction with
there's a report out today. Someone shot in Chicago every 2 hours. That just came out today.
We're doing that next. I have to tell you, if he was that passionate, he'd be in Chicago.
That's right. Exactly.
Okay, now, do you think, Andrea Tantaros, I love these questions, that Kirsten Powers is going to produce children who are starving on this program?
I can't wait to find out.
Okay. Do you think
it would be very hard to find. With a record number of Americans on food stamps, I think it's very difficult.
Okay. Do you, Leslie Marshall, think Kirsten Powers is going to produce starving children on this program?
I think she should, because she said she would, and I think she can.
You do?
I do. I think she can.
American children?
Wait. Where will she find these children?
I was going to say, which country?
Am I allowed to say this is an organization? Am I allowed to say the organization?
Sure.
Feed the Children, right? And Feed the Children is feeding children in the United States of America,
and some children need to be fed.
Yes.
Do you know why they need to be fed?
Because they're starving.
Yeah. Why are they starving?
Because their parents don't have money. Maybe they have a drug addiction.
Not because their parents don't have money. All right? It's because their parents choose not to feed them. In New York City and in Los Angeles, where you live, there are so many safety nets provided by state, local, and federal to keep children from starving.
But in places like the Appalachian Mountains,
the Appalachian Mountains, everyone,
they don't have
they have the same
They have a huge amount of starvation among children. A lot of children going to bed hungry there.
I've worked in Berea, Kentucky, in the Appalachian Mountains, and I know the starving children there have parents who are drunk all day and all night. That's why they're starving, Leslie.
I don't
Not
agree.
Because there's a lack of resources.
I would agree that some of them are. I'm not going to dispute that.
Not because there's a lack of resources to help them.
There's no excuse in the United States of America for any child to be hungry.
Okay, then you're going to break in the door, arrest the drunk parents, take their kids and give them to the welfare agency. Because that's what you'll have to do to feed them.
No, all we have to do is each of us, even if we gave a buck, even if we just bought some food, we can feed the children of America. The amount of largesse that goes into feeding and giving homeless people and everything like that a chance is in the trillions of dollars, and there's only 300 million people in this country. This is the biggest myth in the world. I know everybody thinks I'm a mean guy. I give millions of dollars to poor people in this country.
No, but you know what's frustrating? It's frustrating is also living in New York City. You see the fraud. You see the people in front of you at the grocery store using the EBT cards. They're healthy as a horse. They're buying all different things, cigarettes, alcohol with the EBT cards. It's taking the money away from the kids who need it. But I will say this. They have so many programs. The welfare state is huge. I think
it is an enormous welfare state
to
right
find
now.
Someone who can't get help.
Well, we'll see if Ms. Powers can bring in these children and their parents, and we will discuss it. Maybe if I'm wrong, I'm going to admit it. I'm going to admit it.
What are you going to give Powers? Buy her dinners?
Well, I'm not going to give Powers anything, but I'll make a donation to the charity of her
That's very
choice.
You'll feed the children she brings in.
I already do. I mean, the green room has snacks for everybody. But
I ate them all.
We don't want to be callous about this, but I am tired of this mythological situation. Ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Plenty more ahead as the Factor moves along this evening.